I never thought a blanket could hold my whole heart, until the day they threw mine away like it was nothing. My name doesn't matter as much as the story, but let me tell you who I was before everything shattered. I'm the kind of woman who loves quietly, deeply, with my hands. While other people bought expensive gifts, I stitched memories. Quilting was my language of love. Every late night, every careful cut of fabric, every tiny stitch was me saying, "You matter. I see you. I'm here." For 6 long months, I worked on the most beautiful quilt I had ever made. It was for my best friend Laura and her husband Mark. We had grown up together, shared sleepovers, broken hearts, wedding plans, hospital waits when her mother was sick. I knew her better than anyone. So when they moved into their big new house, I wanted them to have something no one else could give. I gathered fabrics from every chapter of our friendship. A piece of the dress I wore the day she said yes to Mark. Scraps from the picnic blanket we used on our first girls' trip. Even a faded square from the baby blanket her grandmother gave her. I embroidered tiny stars along the border, our secret sign for no matter what, we've got each other. The quilt was soft, heavy, warm, a hug you could wrap yourself in. It took over 200 hours. My fingers bled, my back ached. But every single night I smiled, thinking how she would feel when she opened it. The day I gave it to her, her eyes filled with tears. She hugged me so tight I could barely breathe. "This is the most thoughtful thing anyone has ever done for me," she whispered, voice cracking. Mark stood beside her, nodding. "You're incredible," he said. They draped it over the back of their brand new sofa right then and there. I left their house floating on clouds, convinced our friendship was forever. But what I didn't know that day was that my quilt had already been sentenced to death. 3 months later, I was invited to their house for a casual dinner. The moment I walked in, my eyes searched for the quilt. It wasn't on the sofa. It wasn't folded on the guest bed. It wasn't anywhere. My stomach twisted, but I tried to stay calm. "Laura?" I asked lightly while she stirred pasta. "Where's the quilt I made you?" She didn't even look up from the pot. "Oh, we moved it. It's in storage for now." Her voice was too casual, too quick. Mark changed the subject so fast I almost missed the flicker in her eyes. I let it go. I told myself I was being sensitive. But 2 weeks later, everything fell apart. I ran into Maria, the sweet lady who cleans their house twice a week. We've known each other for years. She pulled me aside at the market, looking uncomfortable. "I didn't know how to tell you," she said gently. "But I saw Mark carry that beautiful quilt you made out to the dumpster last month. Laura was standing right there. She laughed and said, 'It's just so homemade. It doesn't go with anything.' Then she told him to toss it. I tried to stop them, but she said it was fine." I stood there in the middle of the grocery aisle, milk cartons shaking in my hands, feeling the world tilt. The quilt I had poured my soul into, the one stitched with our entire history, had been thrown away like dirty rags. Not donated, not given to someone who needed warmth. thrown away. In the trash. My revenge was the quietest kind. The kind no one sees coming until it's too late. I never confronted them. I never posted a single angry word. I just pulled my light back. I stopped texting first. I stopped offering to watch their kids. I stopped pouring my heart into their lives. Instead, I poured it into mine. I started a small quilting circle at the community center. Word spread. Soon mothers, grandmothers, and young brides were lining up to learn. My quilts began appearing in local charity auctions, wrapped around new babies, draped over hospital beds. People cried when they received them. They told me my stitches felt like love you could actually hold. Then came the night that stunned everyone. Laura's younger sister was having her first baby shower, a big family affair at the same community hall. Of course I was invited. I brought the most beautiful quilt I had ever made for the new baby. Soft creams and gentle blues, embroidered with tiny moons and stars. When I presented it, the whole room gasped. Laura's mother actually had tears in her eyes. "This is breathtaking," she said, hugging me tight. "You put so much love into everything you touch." Laura stood across the room, face pale. She watched everyone crowd around me, praising the quilt, asking for photos, begging me to make one for them next. Mark shifted uncomfortably beside her, refusing to meet my eyes. Later, when the crowd thinned, Laura cornered me near the gift table. "Hey, could you maybe make us one for our anniversary? I've missed your quilts." I looked at her for a long moment, at the woman I once loved like a sister, and my voice stayed soft, steady, kind. "I'm sorry, Laura. I only make quilts for people who